I think Gregarious is ready, so let's get started. All right, welcome everyone. It looks like we have some tried and true people from the 1 Million Cups community. We are here at Green Spaces. I am filling in for our fearless leader, Nick, today. If you have any questions, make sure you hold them until he returns because he has all the answers. Don't tell him I said that. Presentations every week, Wednesday here at 9 a.m. We do them both here and on Zoom, providing we don't have any crazy technical difficulties. We do have coffee and tea, and we put the Wi-Fi password up there because it's 2021, and that's what we need. Nick left this pun in here, and I feel like to honor his absence, we should revisit it. Coffee has a rough time in our house. It gets mugged every single morning. Thanks, Pete. I appreciate you. Nope. It's over here. Normally I'm the tech person and I run behind the scenes and click buttons like this, but I get to be both today. It's exciting. Better? All right. Nick set up these slides in the way that a normal startup would set up their slides. So if you are looking to present at 1 Million Cups, this is a great example of how to set up a typical pitch deck, but he did it in a way that's really fun. We have a problem. The problem is that entrepreneurs need feedback on their startups. They need a place to practice their presenting, and they need a place to meet other entrepreneurs because doing a startup is hard and doing it at a community makes it much more fun and much easier. The solution that we've come up with, not us, but somebody smarter, is 1 Million Cups. And you are sitting at 1 Million Cups. We do these weekly presentations. You do a 6-minute presentation ideally, and then you receive 20 minutes of constructive feedback. We do have free coffee and tea because if there's not something free, people don't come. We have some use cases. These are presenters, and they are people that have an idea, they have a product, a startup. Ideally, these things are in their teenage stage, so not in the infancy, not when you just are like, oh, brilliant, and also not fully formed, because the purpose of this is to receive feedback. And so if you have something that's in its formation stage, it will be much more well received, and you will get to watch it grow more effectively. The impact of 1 Million Cups. Entrepreneurs get to be open and transparent. They get feedback to improve their startups, and they build meaningful connections because Denver is a great startup community, and this city, we do band together for important things. The traction, obviously, is always up, always up. We have much proof of this because you are all sitting here. Back in COVID, there was no one here. Now there are people here. Obviously, we're going upwards. We have organizers. We are all volunteers that put on these events for you every week, and we are looking for more people to join our team so that more people can stand up here and Nick can take more vacations. Community organizers, we have Nick, Gregarious, Ali, Josh, myself, Josh, Joseph. He goes by Joe and it flipped me out. We do have sponsors. If you're interested in being a sponsor, you have the opportunity to present here when we do our meetings and tell people a bit about your business. We also have cool swag from our sponsors over there on that table. Oh, Vanna, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Our target market, new members. Who here is new to 1 Million Cups? Excellent. Oh, ooh, that was kind of iffy. All right. And then the other stat that we like to track is who here considers themselves an entrepreneur? Everybody, even you? You're doing a pitch this afternoon, I hope so. Before we get started, to regain the sense of community and not just a person and a microphone, we like to do some introductions. Who is interested in introducing themselves today? It has to be a couple of people, otherwise I pick on humans. Let's see, you haven't been here in a minute. Would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Paul Bodner. I'm the founder of, or co-founder of Atlas Guides. We create smartphone navigational guides for the outdoors. So if you're going to hike a long trail like the Colorado Trail, Appalachian Trail, Pacific Crest Trail, we have the app for that.
Perfect. Who else? Introductions. You can introduce yourself. Ian, you got this.
I'm Ryan. I'm a freelance website developer, and I'm here to meet like-minded individuals and just join the network of entrepreneurs here in Denver.
Perfect. And our last introduction from Zoom. Would anyone like to come off mute? Gary, how about you? You're the only one I can see, so I'm going to pick on you.
Hi, I'm Gary. I'm a finance professional, and I'm working with someone developing a system for inventory management in the veterinarian space. So, I mean, we've got the solution, and it's great to be able to attend this kind of event where we can network with people and get to hear pitches and so on, so we can learn from others.
Excellent. Thanks, Gary. We look forward to having you present as well. We will have some open networking time at the end, separately for those on Zoom and here in person. There we go. We do have a website. If you aren't aware, it's a great way to get information on upcoming presenters, also find out other events that may be happening in the community, or connect with 1 Million Cups in other cities, because we're going back to that nomad lifestyle. It's 1millioncups.com, and then our site is /Denver. Presenters, don't forget, they're here for your feedback. We want everyone to participate in this, so we encourage all of the audience members while they're presenting to think of a piece of constructive feedback, but do try to limit your feedback to one, because we have enough people here to keep it interesting, so we want to give them a chance to get to everyone, and then once we've gone around the room, then we'll come back to you for more feedback. Zoom, if you have any feedback, we'd love to hear from you as well. Please type it into the chat and we will get to it. All right, our presenter today is Sarus. We have Sir Dustin here to present his company. Sarus develops software that streamlines the heavy lifting planning process to save crane companies time and reduce the risk associated with crane operations. The long-term vision is to make safety easy by removing friction from safety management. Love me a good niche. So without further ado, Dustin.
Thanks. Share my screen. How's this? Cool. So construction is dangerous. I want to share a statistic with you that keeps me up at night. Over the past 10 years, fatalities on the job site have gone up by 41%. And I know this on a personal level because my dad is in the industry. And when he was my age, he was seriously injured in a construction accident. An accident where the difference of just a few feet would have killed him. This is the motivation behind our mission at Sarus, our mission to make safety easy. To accomplish this mission, we're starting with the biggest piece of equipment on the job site, the crane, the backbone of any major construction project. From the team pouring the first slab of concrete to the electrician installing the final antenna on the roof of a skyscraper, everyone depends on the crane company to have their act together. And when they don't have their act together, bad things happen. Just a few weeks ago in Germany, a crane tipped over. While the team was picking the crane back up and setting it upright, this happened. So those two guys were okay. However, this accident was completely avoidable. It all starts with careful planning. This is where the lift plan comes in. Lift plans are effective documents at reducing risk for everyone on and adjacent to the job site. They detail every component of a major lift, from the health certificates of the operator running the crane, to the weight of the load being lifted, to the straps that are going to be used to pick that load up. Construction customers have become increasingly cognizant of the role of these documents, and they're requiring lift plans in their jobs now more than ever. However, there is a problem. Lift planning takes a lot of time. In an industry where time is money, this creates a dangerous incentive to cut corners at the planning phase, exposing everyone to unnecessary risk. So why does this take so long? Well, our customers, typically a sales rep or an estimator at a crane company, need to hack together numerous sources of data, software, handwritten notes, and going to the job site and pacing off the distance that they're going to be lifting an object in order to create a comprehensive lift plan. Furthermore, collaboration challenges between all the stakeholders who are involved in a lifting operation complicate the process more and open up tons of opportunities for human error and miscommunications. Still, it's not easy, and safety should be easy. Still, there's no purpose-built solution for this problem until now. Our product, Lift Pro, allows a lift planner to quickly and effectively write a lift plan for their customer. We're going to save our customers hundreds of thousands of hours of time per year using innovative 3D mapping, automating calculations, and giving them remote collaboration tools that let them all be on the same page. We're charging $99 per lift plan generated, or $7,500 annually for an unlimited subscription to this product. And we don't just create value for our customers. While we save the crane company time and reduce their risk, we also improve site-wide safety management for their customer, the general contractor. This saves them money, and it also improves safety on the entire job site for everyone. This could include you walking by a job site. Now, we've been getting out of the building and talking to customers. To date, we've completed 74 industry interviews with key stakeholders such as insurance companies, lift planners, equipment manufacturers, and safety managers. We have 3 ongoing trials, customers in Colorado and on the East Coast, developing lift plans for them. And actually, I'm proud to report that just a few weeks ago, we delivered our first lift plan to one of these customers. His response was really positive. This is how he described it. Now, we've estimated lift planning to be about a $300 million a year market. The obvious exit strategy would be to go into construction management software and sell to somebody like Autodesk. However, we see a bigger opportunity. It's our mission to make safety easy. And when safety isn't easy, a job site isn't safe. And when a job site isn't safe, it's the insurance industry who pays. This opens up a much larger billion-dollar opportunity. In our conversations with the insurance industry, we've learned that a major challenge for them is ensuring that their clients are actually following the best practices that they've laid out in the field. We believe we can bridge this disconnect with technology, saving money and saving lives. And now my favorite slide. I am honored to be joined by 2 incredibly enthusiastic and talented individuals. Linda Palacios brings engineering experience from her work at Amazon Robotics, and Satyam Shukla brings estimation and product experience from his work at Sunrun. We met working on technical projects back at CU, and I'm honored to be starting a company with these 2 right now. We're also backed by some fantastic mentors. Chris Gustafson has founded, scaled, and exited a construction company. She's also consulted with multiple Fortune 100 corporations and brings incredible business expertise that has backed our technical team, complemented our technical team very well. Jim McGibney has served as development manager for multiple large commercial and industrial scale construction projects. He now serves as chair of the board for the Estes Park Economic Development Corporation. These 2 mentors' business expertise has complemented our highly technical team immensely. We could not do it without them. With that, I want to go back to that statistic. Over the past 10 years, deaths on the job site have gone up 41%. Linda, Satyam, and I are setting out to make sure the next 10 years don't look like the last 10. With that, I invite you to join us. Thank you.
All right. Round of applause. Very well done. Who do we have questions or feedback from? in the back.
Are there any competitors in the space right now doing what you guys are doing, or?
Yeah, so there's a company called 3D Lift Plan, and they are probably the most widely used in the United States for lift planning. Our key differentiation from them is that we address the overall process of lift planning, starting from the initial job walk and customer interview to the final lifting operation. Whereas they focus just on the simulation of the lift itself. They don't handle any of the logistical side of things or the safety plans. So typically our customers will, model something in this software, export it to a PDF, and then attach it to other documents which make up 90% of the lift plan. That's worldwide.
The question was, is the $300 million market US or worldwide?
I have a question that you back excuse me. That could put you guys off of that a bit. Do list plans, are they uniform across different regions? Like if we were to do one, let's say in Canada, for all intents and purposes, would it look like one in the US? And or if not, how do they change?
No, so there's actually quite a bit of variation between these lift plans. Something done on a military base in the East Coast is going to be extremely detail oriented, down to how you are moving the crane into the job site and it back out of the job site, and who is person A, B, and C for getting that done. Whereas in a rural area, in the Midwest or the West, not on the coast, these lift plans are going to be handwritten. So there is a lot of variation, and that's one of the challenges that we're hoping to tackle with our product.
Just a quick question. What type of feedback would be the most helpful for you? Is it in the communication of the, presentation? Are you looking for feedback from potential investors? What can we as a community answer for you that would give you the best information today?
I think both. We've been doing the pitching thing, so I feel pretty confident with it, but obviously if there was anything confusing, I'd love to hear it. If you have further questions, that means I guess the communication was fairly clear. So yeah, any and all.
So first, great presentation, man. Like you humanized it. You gave us a story to follow through. That was awesome. You did a great job. You went in heavy with kind of like that heavy emotion, and my only feedback would be that like at some point, like turn it happier, because like you're solving the problem, but the pitch was still the same. It still seemed fairly dark. I don't know if it's different colors on the slide or even tone of voice, but dude, you nailed it, and that would be the only feedback that I'd have. Yeah,
definitely. Thanks.
I had a question. I don't think I understand exactly like what a final product would look like for you. And I think getting into that, because you have customers, and I think people will be interested to know what like a final lift plan from your product would look like, and what sort of like requirements you're meeting. Because I'm assuming in this industry, there are certain bullet points that you have to hit with these. And if someone's going through and handwriting these, I'd be curious to know how your product's getting in there and saving hundreds of hours.
Yeah, got it. So more specifics on what the output would look like. Yeah.
I think somewhat along the same lines, if I was an investor and not super familiar with what a lift plan looks like, I'm still confused. Like, what is your company? Is it a tech company? Is it, how are you making all of this so much easier? Are you guys writing the lift plan for them? I think the need for the lift plan and the result of your product was very clear, but then it kind of skipped over, like, we do this thing. I would say draw that out a little more and say what exactly you do, how you save that time. If you're the consultant coming in and writing the lift plan, or if you have, some sort of technology that allows that to happen, or if you just provide, all of the information they need, do they still write the lift plan? That was very, I think, unclear to me as someone who's not familiar with the industry. So,
got it. Thanks.
if I off Zoom, if I can add the comment about the feedback from the trial, which is in inverted commas is amazing. I mean, that doesn't really tell me anything. It just tells me that it was amazing. But what was amazing? What did it do? What benefits did the guys running the trial see? It needs to validate a lot of the benefits that you're claiming. And the word amazing doesn't communicate actually what it does.
Thanks. That's good to know.
So I've got a quick question, just almost kind of out of curiosity about your pricing. So I noticed that for one plan, it's $99. You're working in certainly an enterprise like B2B type of area. It's interesting to me that you go as low as $99 for one plan. I mean, any construction site that has a crane, obviously, they're working in the 6 figures, 7 figures plus at that point. So how did you come up with that? With that price point? I mean, to me, that almost sounds like a consumer like SaaS monthly subscription. I mean, I pay for stuff that's way more than that. That's, just a piece of software. So I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. So the thinking behind that was, how we're creating value, financial value for our customers, which comes down to time savings. So that was essentially saying, typical time to make a lift plan in our beachhead is about 5 to 6 hours. We believe we can cut that down to about an hour. So we're saving them 4 hours multiplied by somebody who costs $50 an hour to do that. That works out to about $200 in savings for them. And then we just said, let's cut that in half and say 99.
See, that's interesting though, because your value proposition is actually one of safety, right? It's not just like this helps you save 4 hours. It's like the process of keeping this all in one place and keeping this all together, saves lives. You help the insurance industry, like the actual perceived value of that, especially like, if one plan like this prevents an accident, that amortized over all the plans that you charge for is way, way more than that. So, yeah, and obviously I'm sure you really know your industry, but that was just something that really stuck out to me. Like, I feel like you could get away with, and we don't want to get away with charging a ton, but I'm just saying, like, in an industry like this with the value proposition, it just seems really, really low for me. So that was just something I was curious about.
Yeah, that makes me think of something that we've definitely struggled with is how do we quantify safety, which is what brought us to insurance in the first place. How do you put a price on that planning process in terms of the de-risking? So if anybody has any insight into that,
I would follow up with that, just that people don't like to pay for safety. I mean, when I got my moped and I was like, oh, a helmet that'll actually save my life, it costs more than my moped. I'm going to get one off Facebook Marketplace. So I think that the opportunity for the price lift is there, especially when you partner with insurance agencies who require you at like use of your software as a rider. Then you'll have, people just have to pay it, and then you have a better opportunity. Plus, I think your hope is that you don't just need one lift plan per job, or if a crane falls over, you need lots of lift plans. So hopefully one company, I don't know how many lift plans you'd expect a normal construction company with a crane on site to buy. If they think, oh, I don't need the 7,500, how many would you say they're going to buy?
It varies widely depending on the customer. That's another thing is, a big job site is going to have thousands of lifts, whereas, kind of our beachhead is an apartment building in downtown Denver that is having a HVAC unit replaced on the roof, where the time spent planning is about equal to the time spent lifting. So if we cut out that planning time by a lot, we make a pretty good percentage impact on their bottom line.
Yeah, I just want to echo some of the recent feedback. I think it's spot on. One idea that you could consider is talking to an actuary from an insurance company, because in theory, they've done the math of, okay, here's the monetary value of the risk involved. And that might be a way to back into like, what's the quantifiable risk that you're addressing?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
So I wonder if it's not worth you talking a little bit about your marketing. How do you become known? It strikes me that the safety aspect is a bigger commercial driver probably than the savings aspect. and the insurance benefits would be quite significant if there are fewer injuries and fewer losses of life. I mean, the insurance claims are going to go down. So it sounds to me like you need to work quite closely with the insurance community, not necessarily the agents, but the actual insurance companies. And when people are taking policies, you want to be selling your services with the sale of the policy associated with a construction thing. Yeah, I just wonder if you can comment, what has your thinking been around marketing and kind of getting your services known?
Yeah, so you hit the nail on the head with the insurance companies. That's a big part of our marketing strategy. Some of these insurance companies will actually have technology libraries that they either require their customers to use or they strongly recommend that they use. And they'll list those out right on their website. So it's very accessible for their customers. And that's kind of, the gold standard. If we could get into one of those libraries, that would be awesome. And then similarly, partners that we would integrate with, such as Autodesk or Procore, construction management software companies, they also have, large networks of partner technologies that, because 80% of the industry uses their platform, all of a sudden we have exposure to, tons of construction companies and crane companies all over the world. So that's a big part of it. And then additionally, we've said, going to trade shows and networking is kind of the other angle.
I think along similar lines here, are you providing a better safety plan than people, or are you just saving time? So I think that's a big question, if you can charge more or not. If your product is basically the same as the consultants they bring in to write the safety plan, but it just takes them longer, that's very different than if you provide a better safety plan or additional safety, things like that. So I think if you are providing additional safety, definitely you can charge more. If it is just a replacement of time, but straight across, then that's a consideration of you're saving them time and money, and you're giving them the same product that they need anyway. And I think also with the insurance angle, again, if you are providing a better product, I think insurance plans would be much happier to partner with you. But if you're doing the same thing that's standard across industry, but just saving time, I think then it would be worth looking at a different angle. So.
Thanks.
Just another piece. I felt like your presentation, your style was really easy to understand. You talked at a great pace. What was on the screen didn't match what you were saying, which kept it interesting in all of this. The only tiny change I would make is that your mood continued from what Joe identified as your opening point of people are dying. And then your big send at the end to ideally convince an investor that you're excited about this was millions of people died and we're going to make sure they don't die anymore. And you were like, oh, wow. Okay. So, if that's your big send, maybe just a little bit of, guess what, guys, we get to save millions of lives potentially. And this is effing exciting. Yeah. Could just be a fun way to end. And then also encourage that feedback when you bring it on an up note at the very end, because we don't like people dying, but being sad about people living is worse.
Yeah, that's great to hear.
All right, we have time for a final question. Somebody else has got a barn burner, I just know it. There we go, Paul.
I just think it's really important, who your customer is, because through this whole thing is your customer the crane operator? Is your customer the person who wants to rent the crane or use the crane? Or is it the insurance company? And so there's a lot of confusion about who your actual customer is, and then how are you going to get to that customer. So I think you have to focus on how are you going to make your money? Who is your customer, and send that across.
Yeah, thanks. It's a really complicated ecosystem, and we're still trying to figure out all the different players and who's the best one to focus on first.
All right. Our last question is, what can we as a community do for you? So after today and all this wonderful feedback, we all go back to our hobbit holes, and we would love to support you in any way we can. Is it a like? Is it a follow? Is it a share? Is it an introduction? How can we help you?
Yeah. So right now, we're looking for introductions to construction industry professionals and insurance professionals, and to get more research done. We're also going to be raising money here in the next few months. So we're starting the process of meeting angel investors and networking in that community as well. So warm introductions there are super valuable. We're hoping to see some revenue by the end of 2021. And at that point, we want to go really quickly into our seed round. So that's essentially what I'm looking for. I've got cards here I can hand out for anybody who'd like one. And I can get you on our email update list to stay in the loop. Yeah, really appreciate everyone's time.
Awesome. All right. Round of applause. It takes a lot of guts to come present. So thank you so much. Oh, we'll do that first and then we'll do that. All right. We got it all. Okay, so as a bonus for the community, the organizers got together and tried to figure out a way that we support you all. Anyone who's an organizer has a decent amount of experience in the startup world, and so we just try to share that with you. So if you ever have questions about something you're doing or an idea you just want to run by somebody, hit up one of the organizers, because we are here to help. We're here to serve. We just volunteer our time because we think it's valuable. But we're going to have Joe come up today, and he is going to present on something he's passionate about, and that is startup teams. So we're going to talk a little bit about building an A team. Oh, I think it turned off. There we go.
So last time I went pretty heavy and dark. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Some more woos. So last time I went pretty heavy and dark. Sometimes we kind of need that. This time though, it's building an A team. And so I'm going to use a use case. A buddy of mine is starting a licensing business. So he called me up and he was like, yeah, I've got all the people to go do this. And right away I said, hey, so you're a good biz dev guy, but you're lacking in legal, you're lacking in these other spots. And to be able to be successful for your clients, go focus on building your team. So the importance of building an A team, sometimes we just get like friends or that person that's around us. I would highly, highly encourage, spend that entrepreneurial time at the beginning. You've got a great idea, go build your team. I've pitched the VP of Chase Bank, and right away I had a ton of pitfalls. My history didn't validate some of the money that we were looking for, some of the expertise that we were claiming to solve. So in building my team, we brought on the brand strategist from Adobe, the director of marketing for the Honda Center, the founder of Bright White, the tooth whitening system, the president of Tech Coast Angels. We had the CTO of Olaclip, the CFO of Olaclip, the CTO of Gateway Computers. So when we were looking for money from investors, they could look at my track record, which wasn't much. I worked for people, or they could look at my team's track record. So when you're putting together your team and you're building your concept out, it's not just that you've got a great idea, but that you build a team that's going to help you get to that idea. So as far as how do you build that team, go network. Networking is huge for this. I know we want to stay in home and we've got this great idea, but if you sit on an island all by yourself, nobody knows about it. And so build your team. Your team should be ambassadors. Your team should be validators. Your team should help get you guys to the goal. So any questions? Yeah. So how do you convince a person to join your team? So a lot of times you have no money, and that's totally fine. You'll find that a lot of people are just willing to help if you ask. As a CEO, as a founder of a company, you've got to use your charisma. You've got to believe in your thing, and then you've got to just go let other people know that too. And you'll be surprised if you're transparent, you let people know, hey, this is you can cast your vision. You'd be amazed at the people that are willing to either just help or the people that like will commit fully to your idea because you sold them on it. Good question.
I think a follow-up to that one is that everything is sales in one way or another. And so you're selling someone on the idea of helping you. So you have to position it as what they'll get out of it. And you can think of the Wolf of Wall Street and like, sell me this pen. Like, how do you walk up to someone who has a lot of money and be like, you want to give me money? I'm not going to ask you for it. You want to give it to me. And when you position yourself that way, it's easier to make those connections because you care more deeply about what they care about in order to motivate them to take action.
Any other quick question about building a team?
Yeah, in terms of advisors, what's a reasonable amount to expect, especially if people aren't fundraising or you don't have money, people are willing to help. What is that to do with how often, is it like an ongoing basis, or I have a lot of people that are accepting and happy to help in any way, but I don't quite know what to ask for them. So I'm curious about what an advisor for startup and their organization.
So the advisors for my social platform, I had Jeff Weiner from LinkedIn, Nick Bell, the VP of Snapchat, Michael Jones, the founder of MySpace, and John Pietro, former head of marketing for Wendy's. So right away, you set the expectation. So when I talked with Jeff and Nick and all these guys, and plenty of other people too, I said, hey, I'd like to meet with you guys for an hour a month as like a mastermind. Well, Jeff didn't know Nick, so he was appreciative of the intro, so we I did it as a mastermind, but what you want to do is you want to have clearly in your head an expectation, and then you want to be clear with people too, so that they know what they're getting into and that it doesn't just linger. That's my tip. Yeah.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, Joe. Thanks for the questions, feedback. Woo! We got to clap in the mornings. We don't just need coffee to get up. We need a lot more than that. All right. Do we have any community announcements, events, things that are going on, stuff you just think that everybody should know? Cool things. Anybody get married, start dating someone really neat? Nothing? Okay, cool. Oh, you've got one. All right.
I used to live in Utah, so I've been married a few times. Yeah, so if you haven't heard, the SBA will be hosting an online event, which will run September 13th to the 15th. It's called National Small Business Week, so it'll be a virtual event and a great way to meet people. As he mentioned, networking is important. And at the end of that, on the 16th, I'll be hosting a happy hour fundraiser. So it'll be a Zoom attire in-person happy hour. If you don't know what that means, looks like this on top, shorts and flip-flops on the bottom. And that'll be at Station 26. So tickets will be $5 cover, and the proceeds of that will go to the American Indian Academy of Denver, which is a charter school here in Denver, Colorado. That's all I got.
All righty. Sign up.
If you look up, there's a group called FIED 101, so FIED 101. It's on Google. Tickets will be up there later today.
FIED 101. Just Google that for information on that event. We'll also try to get it posted on the LinkedIn page, which is this wonderful QR code. Join us next time. We are going to be here, same time, same place, probably same attire if we're honest, because we're wearing all the swag. So if you don't have any, we encourage you to grab some swag over here. Again, displayed. Grab one of those t-shirts and wear it out. Invite your friends, invite your family, because the more people we get in this community, the more valuable it becomes. And even if you don't have an idea or a startup right now, you might tomorrow. And when you do, you'll be really glad that you helped us build this really kick-ass community. Okay, so as far as our marketing plan, that's it. I gave you a little spoiler alert there. Word of mouth, website, follow us. We're social, or we try to be. We always try to remind you that you are awesome. Per some of the previous comments, we're going to need to change that adjective. But I would go with kick ass if I were in charge. So you are, and don't forget that, because if you guys don't believe that, then you won't come up with great ideas. And what are we even doing here? I'm over caffeinated as it is. Competitive advantage are Nick puns. They are Nick puns, not Nick's puns. Why should you not lie to an X-ray technician? We did this one last week. Bonus points if you remember. Yeah, it's just dead. I was told the slides were updated. My bad. Grab some swag, show it off, stay at Green Spaces for the day. If you want to stay here and co-work, we do encourage it. A lot of us stay here all day and hang out, so we're just fun, as you know. You just need to check in with Holden at the front desk. We did finish a little bit early today because I talk quickly and also because we are efficient as heck. So we're going to go ahead and open it up to some networking time. Feel free to talk amongst yourself. I'll turn back on the music, share your great ideas, and then apply to present them, maybe next week. All right, that's it. Round of applause for everyone for showing up. Zoom, we're going to turn you guys off here so you can connect amongst yourself if you want to.